Hi everybody. Um, I'm up late. It's like 1:30 a.m. So I thought I would review Lost in Paradise by Sofia Vergara. Yes, Vergara. Um, we all know how beautiful she is. Lost in Paradise. Pretty box. And I got it at Burlington for $9.99. The bottle is very pretty. Looks like her very feminine, beautiful figure, I think. She's got to be one of the prettiest ladies, I think, on TV. This is very pretty. This is a fruity or a floral fruity, and it was launched in 2019. And I really like it. I like it, and it's definitely worth $10. But if you're watching this, deciding whether or not, well, it's only $10. I think it's a steal for $10. Let me put it this way. I think this is well liked, but it can be divisive for some people, and I think that's because of its keynote, um, soursop, which I don't think is used a lot in perfume. I like this. By the way, this projects for a few hours, several hours, and it's long lasting actually. It's long lasting for me on skin and fabric. My fabric, I definitely can smell it on my jacket and stuff the next day. Um, it can be overpowering depending on where you're at. It's cold right now. It's December, and I sprayed some on before I went to my gym, Planet Fitness, and it was too much in there. Anyhow, that note I was talking about, soursop, I like it, but I almost feel like you have to be in the mood for it. You know, you're either going to like it or it's going to turn you off, I think. A few people said that it had like old ripe, overripe banana smell, and I could see where they're coming from with that. A lot of people describe the opening of this as like bubblegummy, and I tried to close my eyes and just sit and smell it and see if I could get that, and I can see where they would say like a sweet bubblegum flavor when the or smell. Smell when this opens up, definitely. If you don't like that kind of bubblegum smell, then you'd be one of those people that this turns you off. Gosh, it's so late slash early. Anyway, let me go back. I wanted to read through the main accords. So Fragrantica has it as fruity white floral, and that is definitely what that is, very thickly. It's very, very much it's a sweet, fruity, sweet white floral. Woody, patchouli, vanilla, fresh, warm, spicy, sweet, earthy, and musky. And I can get all that. I don't think the patchouli is overpowering, but those who are sensitive to patchouli, I noticed on Fragrantica, just a few people mentioned that, but to me, the patchouli is it's woody and earthy and musky, but it's not strong patchouli. Although some people have said that, to me, it is not, but it's present. Um, I want to read the notes too and talk about. So it's called Lost in Paradise, and you can see it's really hard to see. I like the way this bottle shines. It's kind of like, got the texture on it, so it shines. Of course, that's a little plastic cap, but it's on there decently. Anyhow, you can see where it says Lost in Paradise and her name, but it's kind of hard to see on there. It's tiny. That definitely just looks like a little hourglass figure. It's nice to hold, by the way, and it sprays nicely. Um, so back to the notes. That soursop, I think the other name for it is guanabana, um, is, from what I have read from others, uh, very popular or loved in Colombia, which is where Sophia is from. And I have a few friends from there, so I need to ask them specifically about that. Somebody wrote on Fragrantica that if there was a smell or a fruit of Colombia that captured the essence, it would be this soursop or guanabana, I think. And it's interesting. It is said to smell similar to pineapple. And if you're a pineapple junkie, before you get too excited, let me tell you that it wouldn't be like a freshly sliced pineapple, in my opinion. I can see how it's related to pineapple, but the kind I would almost get like some people say like pineapple or fruit smoothies. I would get almost more like if you could imagine pineapple pudding, maybe even pineapple syrup. But I wouldn't say smoothie. Smoothie would indicate like, creamy and icy feel to it. This is, as the breakdown said, it's actually got a warmth to it. And you would think that it would be tropical, but tropical is not listed in main accords. It's not exactly tropical. So I was trying to think, I know the landscape. I've never been to Colombia, but I know it's got all different kinds of landscape, the cities and the water and the coastline, but also, obviously the mountains. That's kind of, from everything that I've heard in videos that I've seen, I get the vibe from this very much. And with the name of it, Lost in Paradise, I think of like the moderate temperatures of Colombia. And I think about, tropical type trees with this sweet fruit in the air, just, very fertile grounds and woods with the trees and the brush. And like it says fresh in main accord, fresh as in hydrated, much like the name, like a paradise that's with white, sweet, blooming flowers around. So to continue on, the top notes are soursop, nashi pear, and red apple. And do think about the fact, red apple is so different from green apple. It's, to me, much sweeter and mild. Green apple, of course, is crisp. Now, the pear in this is a sweet pear. Like it's just got, a little thin see-through icing of sugar on pear, or it's a more not overripe pear, but like a pear that's close to being overripe, but not. So that heavier sweetness, middle notes of lily of the valley, gardenia, and orange blossom. I totally get all three of these. I totally get the gardenia and orange blossom, which I like very much. And I think adding to that like sweet bubblegummy, what's the flavor again, smell that people are referring to, that sticky sweetness or warm, like gooey sweetness, sort of. It would be that sweetness, very much sweetness of orange blossom and the gardenia mixed with that soursop, which, like I said, would be more like to me, like a pineapple pudding or something along those lines. Because it's creamy but not milky, you know. And then the pear, like if you were to have like a pineapple pear pudding or something. And so the base notes are patchouli and vanilla and teakwood, which is interesting. I think that goes well, and musk. And I get all that. The wood to me is not heavy woody, even though, in the main accords it's the third down. Yeah, I mean, it is woody, but I wear a lot of heavy woody things that I like a lot. And to me, it's not overbearingly so. It's just right. I really do get the vibe of not necessarily tropical, like you're sitting on the beach, but that moderate temperature that doesn't change in Colombia. And I'm assuming that's probably what she's referencing, and that's the vibe I get. It's very distinct. I've heard others say, and I can say the same thing. I personally don't have anything else that has this exact smell to it, so it's worth it just for that reason alone, to have it, especially for $9.99. And I will use it. I'm very curious to use it as the weather gets warmer too. But I think just like the vibe I get of like the mountains, that moderate climate that doesn't change a whole lot, kind of like tropical trees, a nice lush fertile ground with all these plants and fruits and flowers growing with that earth. That's the vibe that I get, and I almost feel like this is best even in just like that in between moderate temperatures. You could wear this during the daytime, and I read somebody else said they like to put it on at night because it's so sweet and just kind of comforting to them. But there is something really nice about that. This one, I should just be in bed. I should probably redo this video. I just wanted to give that warning about that note of soursop that it seems to be a little much for some people. I don't know. It's interesting the way our brains all differently, our brains connect thoughts and ideas with the smell. Which smell is the most important sense for our memories? I'm sure you probably all already know that. So yeah, that's the kind of vibe I get. It's very, very sweet, but not really candy. Like I said, like candy in the sense of like gum, but not, it's not gourmand. It's just those sweet fruits with the sweet white floral, with the earthiness and patchouli and the musk. And of course the vanilla, keeping it sweet. I don't know, I hope that helps you. In general, floral, white floral, fruity, not necessarily beachy, but floral, white floral and fruity, sweet, woody, kind of comforting, but also fresh in the sense that you almost get, like I said, like that jungle vibe. But of course, I've got Lost in Paradise in my head, and I'm picturing that sort of thing. So before I did this video, I tried to close my eyes and just smell it and be like, what does that smell like? What would I guess that to smell like? Would I get bubble gum? I could see that with a bunch of those sweet white flowers around. Yeah, and woody. Maybe you're like in almost like a little, I don't know, with wooden tables around and wooden walls and windows open, tropical fruit trees outside with white flowers, lush, and everything's kind of like hydrated, but warm and sweet. So yeah, I really rambled on this one. If you sat through this long, please like and subscribe, and hope you all are having a wonderful holiday season.